Welcome everyone to Inside Gyros. Alvaro here from Airgyro, and we are in the new studio. This is not as easy as I thought. It was easy for me to talk to the camera when I was in the gyroplane. It's more or less the same what I do when somebody's flying with me, a student or a passenger. But this is another whole level. But I will do my best to explain what I know, explain the things that I want to show you, and the small details about the AG-915. Today we're going to talk about the cabin, like the model. The cabin of the AG-915 is the main feature. It's a really strong, really light, well-designed cabin. It's been updated and it's been improved in the years since the first design in France. But the Polish engineering and all the effort they have done in Poland, it just give us something that is very, very interesting, and one of the reasons I really like this product. So the idea on this video is to show you the components, the main components. So we're going to start with the cabin. It looks right now is upside down. This is the cabin as it is. You see. Now you can see it. There you go. That's the cabin. We're talking about 70 pounds cabin. It's really light, but it's really, really, really strong cabin. It's made with state-of-the-art technology, with autoclave and all these things to really use the composite, the carbon. You can make the carbon like the same way they do fiberglass. And at the end, it's not many difference. It's not real difference. When you use the systems they're using here to build these cabins with the vacuum pressure, with the temperature, and all these things that I'm not really an expert, this is amazing how light and how strong can be. So at the end of the video, we will talk a little bit. I will answer some questions. I want to do a Q&A. There is many questions coming to the website and coming to the Facebook and the YouTube channel and the emails, and many of those questions are more or less the same. There is not a lot of information. Honestly speaking, there is not a lot of information or insights on the gyroplanes and how they're built and so on. So join me today for a small video. I will go through the cabin. We will talk about the principle of the kit. They're so simple and they're very good. So the kits, the AG-915 kits for the United States, we design it so it will be based on safety and the parts and all the assemble. It can be performed. You need some training. It's important to put that. It's not an IKEA furniture. You actually need some training, but in general, what I'm saying in general is, if with a mechanic and the training and the videos we're preparing plus the instructions, everybody should be able to do it. It's a very interesting concept that we have with the US kits. We're improving every day. Of course we're not perfect, but all the feedback that we're receiving with the machines that are already in the United States and the feedback we know on the experience, it gives us a lot of information of how we, Airgyro, can provide and support a really good product, a really safe machine, and definitely one of the best designs and the best gyroplanes in the air. So thanks for watching. In the new studio, now I look like a model. I know I'm not the gyroplane girl, but I will try to make it as fun and understandable as possible. Okay, so let's start with the cabin. Let's talk about the cabin. The monocoque carbon cabin of the AG-915 is based on one small particular feature, is to make every single component, like very crucial component, electrical system, control system, hydraulic only for the brakes, and a structural part visible in an inspection. Some other models, they have a lot of heating parts. It's okay, it's fine, but the point is, if there is a failure, if there is something that is grabbing or scratching or something like that, you will not be aware if you do an inspection, and the only way to do it is just literally dismantle the whole machine. So they came to the idea of opening the tunnel inside of this. This is the tunnel. Well, let me real quick just get one of the cameras here. So it will be easy for me to show you the tunnel of the aircraft right now. That is not just an structural part of the design, but also you can have access. You will have access to the tunnel for any inspection. So you here in this point, I will try to just use both of the cameras. Just, you know, orchestra man here. Here goes, this is the nose landing gear goes here, goes from the pedals. There's an opening here. It will be attached here. All the control system goes to the firewall that is in the back. I will show you later a little bit. The electrical design and all the electrical harness is also inside here and is attached. So when you do an inspection, the most crucial components are visual. The same with the firewall. This machine have a massive firewall. It's bulky, I know that's because we're using the 915 engine and a little bit wider propeller. But you know, one thing to another. Also, well, it's way more comfortable to be in a cabin, a little bit more roomy, and you're not piled to each other inside just to fly. So the principle of let me just put this here real quick. All right. So the principle of what I'm saying about the crucial points to be visual is to be comfortable in the air. I am an operator and I like to be comfortable when I take off. The fact that this is a kit and you build it and you do some of the maintenance also, it gives you some doubts. When you are in the air, there is no way to go to the side and just check what is the sound. You need to land, and if you're far away from a runway, well, that is start increasing a little bit more of the, you know, you don't feel easy or you don't feel comfortable. If you have this kind of feeling, if you're not comfortable with the machine, or you have this vacuum feeling that I always ask, this the feeling when you just leave your wallet or you leave your home and you feel like something is missing. If you have that feeling in the air, well, that's not good. And second, this machine is a sport machine. This is for pleasure, for having fun in the air. Initially, I'm not saying that is the only thing you can do. You can perform a lot of things. Believe me, I've been testing these machines for the last 10 years in military operation, professional operation, and so on. So believe me, there is a lot of things you can do with this machine. Unfortunately, the regulation is still in the unknown. So the amount of things you can do with this machine is a real multi-purpose machine. So let's go back to the point of safety. If you have any doubts of your machine, if you don't understand, or if something is weird and you cannot land back, well, you may not be using the machine the way it is. This should be for fun, safe, and most of all, and most of the things is there is a wife principle involved in all of these projects and the sport aviation, and I know everybody that is watching, they understand what I'm saying. The wife principle is kind of the base thing you have to know, and if she's comfortable, she feels safe, and she feels okay, you will be fine doing this kind of purchase. So, let's go inside of the cabin. Let's show a little bit what is inside of the cabin and the roll cage, and then the firewall to go to the questions at the end. So, let's roll over the cabin, and I will show you more. All right, so let's come back. Now the cabin is down. I know there is a little bit down here, but now with this camera, it's easy for me to show you Again, this is a demo cabin. Don't get in panic. Don't start doing some comments that this is not well done. I know. This is a demo cabin. This is something I'm using right now. I want to do some really nice, turns around here. There you go. So, first of all, let's talk about the tunnel. The tunnel is kind of the backbone of the machine and is equalized and it make it very strong with the mast pocket section. All right. Then we will have where the chairs are. These are special design points. Inside here, there's a special design points in case of a hard landing, so they can collapse. But also they give you structural strain around here. All of these around. If you can see. There we go. If you can see what I'm saying is you are actually inside of a roll cage. A roll cage that protects you in case of an impact. The nose also is designed to absorb a lot of the impacts. And the firewall, what I was talking before, is amazing to put all the details, all the things for the engine, etc. Here's the pocket. This is very strong. This part is very strong. It has some special reinforcement inside to hold the engine and the vibrations and everything. And this is also the most strongest part of the machine here as well. And here goes the mast to go here, and we don't have that issue. It's very well designed. Air intakes for the cabin. The central panel, they cut it later to put the pedestal and then the panel. And there you go. You see the amount of visibility that you have in these machines is amazing. So again, let's talk about the kit principle. The standard of the 51% of the kit principle that we have in the United States is based in two things. First of all, is safety, and it has like pros and cons. You should know some mechanics and some insights. We have programs for training. You can come here to train. We have Florida for training. We have Texas for training. We're open 2 more service centers and dealers, so you can have closer access. The country is pretty big, so we're trying to be in some strategic points, so you can go learn and build the machine and learn to fly. Of course, the AG-915. But the principle of the kit that we're proposing is to make it easier for you when you put all together. Everything goes around this cabin. Everything. The engine goes around the cabin. The landing gear goes around the cabin. The mast, the rotor, the control. Everything is around here. So the way we want you to do the assemble and the way you do the manufacturing, some parts should be manufactured by the regulation, is designed for you to understand and to learn more about the machine you will fly. The fact that you will be not just the operator, but you also be the person who built it, give you the insights when you take it in the air. So remember what I was saying about the vacuum feeling and the things that you don't feel, and maybe you don't feel easy. If you build the machine, if you know the machine, if you build all the components, you know what is going on. You know what is wrong, and you feel that. So the 40 hours period that the FAA wisely tell us that, hey, you should do this kind of, even if it's less, pros and cons. I'm not saying that is the best, but it's what we have. So let's use it. Let's use it as the best of the testing and the learning process of your machine. You will get training on these machines. There is training available for these machines right now in the United States. Check our website, www.airgyro.com. Many of the updates that I'm doing right now, they will be on the PRA page on Facebook. I like to just put everything on the PRA because it's the most important organization, and it's been helping gyroplanes and helping people to fly gyroplanes for many years. So for me, it's very important to support the PRA. All these associations is, if you have questions, this is the most important thing. Write your questions right now. There will be some questions about the cabin. I know there are some questions about the rotor brake system and all these kind of things that I'm trying to answer. Send me an email. It's easy for me to answer emails. Sometimes take a couple days, but I will answer all the emails. I will give all the information that I have. I'm not an expert. I'm not the most expert person. There is many people in the United States that can help you. Go to the PRA, go to the forums, check the CFI, the instructors. They will give you a lot of insights if you are planning to move from the fixed wing to the gyroplane. And this take me to the final part of the video that I want to do in these studio sessions that we have right now. That right now I look like a model. Is answering the most common questions. And one of the most common questions is why I should get a gyroplane instead of an airplane. What you want to do in the air is more or less what it is. What you want to do. Flying a fixed wing is amazing. I've been flying for more than 20 years, most of it in a fixed wing, twin engines and single engines, but it's like driving in a highway. You just take off and you just go places. You just go someplace. Gyroplanes are more in between the ATV, the all-terrain vehicle, motorbike, and like sport car, because the flight principle that led you kind of fly lower. Be careful when you're flying lower. You know the rules. There is many rules. And the FAA is watching, so I don't want to say something stupid. But you can actually fly lower with a lot of safety standards because we don't have stall. You can maneuver a lot. We don't have stall. So you've seen in the videos and you've seen all the people doing this maneuver. You can spin. You can actually go down, make a high rake descent. There is a lot of really cool things you can do with a gyroplane. So you can commute. Yeah, you can commute in a gyroplane. It will be slower. I mean, gyroplanes, these models with the 915 engine, we're talking about 90 miles per hour in straight line. Wind affect a lot the gyroplane. Remember, you're flying with an umbrella. The fact that you're flying with an umbrella, you're not an arrow. The fixed wing is an arrow, right? It goes through the wind. Although headwinds affect and tailwinds affect, we're still flying in a fluid. But in a gyroplane is a little bit exponentially bigger because you have this massive umbrella, this pushing. So if you want to commute, if you want to go some places and you have strong wings and so headwinds, that will affect a lot your ground speed. So it's an amazing machine, a monitoring machine. I perform a lot of military operations back in Colombia, and we perform some monitoring and some surveillance and searching operations. It's an amazing platform. You can do a lot of things that normally you do it with a helicopter. Helicopter is too expensive. But with these machines, it's actually even cheaper than many others and easier than even with the drones. The fact that you have the operators inside and you are right there in the point, that changed the whole equation of monitoring or surveillance or searching things or people in some cases. So that's more or less the answer. I mean, what you want to do with the machine that flies, if you want to go some places, If you want to go to A to B and do it faster and efficiently, you should consider a fixed wing. There is many really nice options, even short takeoff and landings, and the bush planes are amazing. If you want to go in the middle, if you want to fly in the weekends, you want to make some adventures, you want to go up in the mountains and don't be afraid of turbulence. Turbulence also is a fact that people who switch from fixed wing to gyroplane love it, because all gyroplanes by the principle don't have really strong turbulence. We don't have strong turbulence, so the updrafts and downdrafts, they really don't affect it. So you have kind of lateral moving instead of the vacuums. Maneuverability, how easy is to storage. If you don't have access to a hangar, you can just land, remove the rotor, put it in a trailer and drive back home. This is pretty fine to do it. Just need to be careful when you put it on and off, and the on and off part. It's easy to storage in a hangar. The volume that occupied is more or less the volume of a car. It's a little bit longer and taller, but you know what I'm saying. I mean, I'm just trying to make an example. So it's very practical. It's a very practical machine. And then you have the versions, the tandem version, the open cockpit, the closed cockpit tandem, and the side-by-sides that in general they're closed cockpit. Although, as you have seen in the videos, we can remove the doors and then you can fly with the doors off. It's like flying a Huey. It's really nice. I really like it. It's one of my favorite parts of the flying. But in winter, you just close it, and you have heating system, heating chairs. You have a lot of things. It's really comfortable. And as I said, the fact that we have a wider cabin, it's really comfortable. I'm really short now. It looks like I'm taller, but I'm not really tall. So for me, I'm comfortable everywhere. But the normal people that is taller than me, they don't feel really comfortable in some of the machines. So this machine actually make the difference. Of course, in volume, the weight is more or less the same for all machines. The maximum takeoff weight is more or less all the same. We make an equation that for weight, as I see these cabins are really light, so we can play with the weight, removing some things, but still making it really strong and really